Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry this is so late. I'm sure if some of you watch this, you will see it tomorrow day. This is Pastor Mary. It is Thursday evening, June 17th. It's my brother Tom, my second brother's birthday. And I wished him a happy birthday, and I hope he has a great day. And if it's your birthday, happy birthday to you as well. Somebody's joined me. That is wonderful. I don't know who it is, but you must have seen my note, so you knew that I couldn't get it all together. I forgot that this month council is at 7. We moved back to 7, and I got home after 5. Hey, Sherry, got home about 5:15, 5:20, and I just wanted to lay down a little bit and I did my meditation, and I laid down for about 15 minutes and got up to eat dinner at 6:30. And right as I was walking to the table, I said, I'm supposed to do devotions and be on church council at 7 o'clock tonight. And I thought, at first I thought, I'll do something fast. And I thought, I don't have enough time to do that, so I won't do that. So I apologize. I'm so late. And I know, and Sherry, I appreciate you being my one and only right now. You may be my only one and only, but you're a wonderful one and only to be with me. So anyway, I didn't have anything. I was also going to plan a little bit, but of course that didn't happen, because it's been one of those days, lots going on. But I wanted to, let's see. Sherry knows this, but for those who watch later, we've been reading in our book group, An Altar in the World by Barbara Brown Taylor. She is a wonderful preacher, wonderful writer. She's an Episcopal priest. She has been a professor at Piedmont College in North Georgia. I have not seen, I have to send a note to my friend in a minute. I've not seen whether she's retired or not. She might be at the age that she might be retired. But anyway, I've enjoyed the book so far. We've read 3 chapters, and I was going to just read a couple excerpts from the book for those who have not read it. And so I'm going to go back to the first chapter, which is the practice of waking up to God. I thought it was really, really, really wonderful. She talks about becoming part of church on her own, and she says, let's see, hang on, I got to make my light brighter in here. I got to move my light because it's getting darker, and I have older eyes, and so sometimes reading things take me a little bit more to read them. So this first chapter is about building church and being the people together. She said she's talking about experiencing God in the world, and she said, when I was 16, I joined a real church under my own steam. I was not then aware of the vast differences among churches. I thought God was God, and according to some of my friends, I did not know the first thing about who He was or what He wanted from me. So I joined their church to find out, and quickly learned that my love of the world was misplaced. The church taught me that only God was worthy of my love, and that only the Bible could teach me about God. For the first time in my life, I was asked to choose between God and the world. She talks about how God, created the world, and it's part of God's creation, and that we can experience God in the world, and we can know God and love God through nature and through people, and God created all these things, and I just absolutely love it, and I think it's so well worth to think about. She says, in biblical terms, it is wisdom we need to live together in this world. Wisdom is not gained by knowing what is right. Wisdom is gained by practicing what is right and noticing what happens when that practice succeeds and when it fails. Wise people do not have to be certain what they believe before they act. They are free to act, trusting that the practice itself will teach them what they need to know. If you are not sure what to think about washing feet, for instance, as you know, Jesus washed feet, then the best way to find out is to practice washing a pair or two. If you are not sure what to believe about your neighbor's faith, then the best way to find out is to practice eating supper together. Reason can only work with the experience available to it. Wisdom atrophies if it is not walked on a regular basis. Such wisdom is far more than information. To gain it, you need more than a brain. You need a body that gets hungry, feels pain, thrills to pleasure, craves rest. This is your physical path into the accumulated insight of all who have preceded you on this earth. To gain wisdom, you need flesh and blood, because wisdom involves bodies, and not just human bodies, but bird bodies, tree bodies, water bodies, and celestial bodies. According to the Talmud, every blade of grass has its own angel bending over it, whispering, "Grow, grow." How does one learn to see and hear such angels? So then she talks about, I could set a little altar in the world or in my heart. I could stop what I am doing long enough to see where I am, who I am there with, and how awesome the place is. I could flag one more gate to heaven, one more patch of ordinary earth with ladder marks on it, where the divine traffic is heavy when I notice it and even when I do not. I could see it for once instead of walking right past it. Maybe even setting a stone or saying a blessing before I move on to wherever I am due next. I love that. Hey, Larry, good evening. I was just reading from Barbara Brown Taylor's book about creating an altar in the world, a geography of faith. And what I love about her, I love lots of things about her, but one of the things in these passages that I've read, I really love the fact that she says, if you don't know somebody's faith, break bread with them, have supper with them, get to know them better. I think that's so true, that you can have knowledge, but you don't have wisdom just because you know a bunch of stuff. Wisdom comes from relationships, relationship with God, relationship with others, relationship with the world. And she talks about building an altar in the world and giving thanks for the things that we just go by, that we pass by, that we don't pay attention to. In my 20s, I had a wonderful therapist that I saw. I had a lot of self-esteem issues, and he, one time I went to see him. This is probably one of the best lessons I've had in life that I need to remind myself of. But I was visiting him, I was seeing him, and I drove from Kansas City to Lawrence, Kansas, because I was taking classes in social work at University of Kansas at their extension program in Metro Kansas City, which I lived on the Kansas side in Overland Park. And I took social work classes for 2 years. I still think I probably should have become a social worker, because I sure love that field. But and I love being a pastor, but helping professions, it's really my thing. So anyway, so I was dealing with some stuff in my life and the counseling office was free, and I needed free because I was a 20-something working 2 jobs and just barely paying the bills. And I had a fantastic therapist who really helped me a lot. And so I would drive from Overland Park to Lawrence, Kansas. Well, when you drive out of the city to Lawrence, where University of Kansas is, there are wheat fields. Kansas is known for being the wheat state, although many other states raise wheat. But so I would pass a number of fields of wheat. It was in the summer that I had gone this session to see Tom. And while we were talking about everything, he says to me, well, did you look at the wheat fields on your way here today? And I'm like, yeah, why? He goes, well, do you remember, was it harvested or not? Like had the wheat been taken out? And I was like, I don't know. I couldn't answer him. And he said, you're so busy and you got a lot going on in your head, which a lot of us do, right? We got a lot of stuff. We're caught up in our brain so much of the time that we miss what's right in front of us. And so he said, I'm going to give you an assignment. He said, you're going to leave here and I want you to go to Dairy Queen, because there was Dairy Queen in town. And he said, I want you to go into the Dairy Queen and I want you to stop. Before you order anything, I want you to look at everything on the list. Look at it very closely, and then I want you to decide what you want to buy. Then I want you to order it and pay for it. And I want you to sit down, and I want you to eat whatever you buy and enjoy it. And I want you to think about what do you like about this, whatever you order. So, and then he said, and then on your way home, I want you to look at the wheat fields and tell me when I see you next week if the wheat has been harvested or not. And I said, okay. So I did what he told me, because he helped me tremendously, helped me so much. And I went to the Dairy Queen right after I left him. I didn't have to rush. I didn't have to go to work or do anything like that. So I went to the Dairy Queen in Lawrence, and I remember going in and looking at the board, and you know the old light up boards in Dairy Queens that they always had, and before, all the fancy ones now. And I looked at that and I was like, what do I want today? Well, if I'm going to Dairy Queen, there's two things I love to have. One is a chocolate ice cream cone, not dipped, just a regular ice cream cone with chocolate ice cream, because most places don't carry chocolate ice cream, and I love chocolate ice cream. I am not a vanilla fan. If I'm going to have vanilla, it's got to have chocolate or peanut butter or something in it or with it, because I am not a vanilla fan. I like French vanilla, but I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with regular old vanilla. So I looked at it, and I'm looking, and I'm like, and the other thing I order, but Dairy Queen doesn't carry it anymore. If I was going to have vanilla ice cream like a sundae, I would have vanilla ice cream with butterscotch, not caramel, butterscotch sauce and pecans on it. Have a butterscotch sundae. Love it, love it, love it. They don't carry butterscotch anymore, by the way, but Freddy's Steak Burger does. I've had a couple of those, tiny ones, but anyway, I digress. So I ordered, so I looked at the menu, I thought about it. He said, I want you to think about it. I thought about it. I went to the counter. I ordered a chocolate ice cream cone. I sat down and I enjoyed every bite of it. And I just enjoyed that ice cream cone. Now, how many times do we pay attention to what we eat, that we really enjoy it? The last meal, well, I've enjoyed a lot of meals lately, but when we went to Fogo de Chão for Samuel's graduation, it's a steak place. It's a Brazilian steak place. Everything is amazing there. The salad bar is so fresh and amazing. But my new favorite thing, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But anyway, so I ate the ice cream cone. I enjoyed it. I felt the coldness of it and the chocolatiness of it. And then, hey, Paula, and then I finished the cone, wiped my hands, got in my car, drove back to Kansas City, Overland Park, and saw that the wheat had been harvested. And Tom's point was, we rush through life so much that we miss the pleasures, even the pleasures of the things that we eat, like an ice cream cone or a cookie or a steak. That we might enjoy the first bite. We might really love the first bite. And often the first bite, it's the best bite. But how often do we really just enjoy that? I mean, God created the food we eat. God created these things. And we are often so busy that we are missing, and we may give thanks, but the way we eat, the way we walk through life, we miss God's creation around us, because we're so busy thinking about all the stuff we have to do, or the problems in our head, or, oh, woe is me, that we can miss what God has created. So my assignment to all of you who watch this, not that you got to go to Dairy Queen, but I want you to, you could pick either one if you're willing to do this. And I would love to hear if you do it, which one what you do. One is either go out for a walk and pay attention to everything around you. What do you notice? What do you smell? What do you see? Just put your brain on hold for a little bit. Take it in with all your senses. Is the sun high up in the sky? Is your skin warm or cold? Is there a breeze? Do you smell flowers or grass? What animals or creatures or bugs do you see? And then thank God for that. Thank God for what God has created and put in your presence, or that is in your presence. Or do the Dairy Queen challenge. And you don't have to go to Dairy Queen or a grocery store. You don't have to have ice cream. But think about, okay, next time you're going to eat a snack, look at everything, I really enjoy doing it at Dairy Queen because I could look at that whole menu and think about it all. So, but if you're not going out to eat, no big deal. But I mean, if, you're trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to have for dinner tonight? Well, open your refrigerator. Look at everything. Look at everything. And think, oh, how would that be if I made that? Or, oh, that would be a good leftover. I'll put in the microwave. I mean, a lot of times we just open the fridge and we pick something out and we eat it. And, we eat it because we need to eat to live, but we don't pay attention to it. And I think really a lot of what this book, An Altar in the World by Barbara Brown Taylor, is talking about, making altars in the world, giving thanks to God for God's creation, taking it in, loving it because God created it, and God created it and said it was good. So love your surroundings, love the people, love the food, get out of your brain. We get so caught up in our own stuff that we miss everything around us. We miss the people around us. We don't concentrate. We're stuck in our heads and we're missing. And I do it too. But that was a great lesson for me to learn, to get out of my head and to pay attention and to really enjoy something. So I want to challenge you all to consider doing that, and then sharing, what you did and how did it go and what were you thankful for? What were you aware of that maybe you just kind of drove by or passed by and didn't pay attention to? What tasted good? What hit you? And yeah, my eyes are really, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit tired, but anyway, so I hope that you will take on that challenge and that you will make a little altar in the world and give thanks to God for God's creation, for God's bounty in food and God's people, and that it doesn't just have to be in church where we give thanks and praise to God. We can do it in the world. We can do it amongst God's people, and we can build a little altar in the world in thanks to God. So I hope that you all will consider taking that on and doing that. So just a couple other things, just an update on a couple people. Harriet Meeks, who's been part of the church, who they live in Thomaston and they couldn't drive anymore, so they go to a church up there. But Harriet and her husband were members for a long time at St. John. And Joan Thomas let me know on Sunday I had shared that Harriet had gone to the hospital on Sunday because she wasn't feeling well, and her heart actually quit beating. She had to be brought back to life, and she had a heart attack. Well, I talked to her today, and she's home, and she's doing better. They're keeping an eye on her, but what they found out was she had no heart damage, which is a huge, wonderful miracle thing. She has no blocked arteries, and what they figured out is, if I got it correctly, she had switched thyroid medicine, and this happened because of a side effect to her thyroid medicine, which that's kind of scary. I mean, I take thyroid medicine, but I've been taking the same kind for 22 years, and I've not had that. And she said, well, they had changed it, but they changed her back to her old one. And I was like, wow. I mean, really think about that. We don't always think about the side effects of our medicines, but, if you take a new drug and your body starts acting like I was taking a different blood pressure medicine and I started having leg cramps every day. So I called the doctor's office right away, and there's a zillion blood pressure medicines. So they switched me to another one, and I didn't have that problem anymore. So, if you go on a new drug and you have problems, let your doctor know right away. Don't mess around with it. It's not worth having problems. So that's Harriet. And then my friend Cheryl, who's often on here. The update on Cheryl is I had talked to her sister. Cheryl was one of my dearest friends in high school, and we're still very close friends. And she lives in Illinois. She actually works at a Methodist church. She's the administrative assistant, keeps the place running. Well, she has two sisters, and they had gone on a trip across Missouri, and they stopped at a McDonald's, and her other two sisters got out on the other side of the car. She got out on the other, and when they got out of the car, she was laying on the ground. And they were in an area that there was no orthopedist, and her one sister is a nurse in Hannibal, where I'm from, 3 hours away. So her sister was able to get transport for Cheryl to be taken to Hannibal because she has osteoporosis apparently so bad that the ball in her hip broke as she got out of the car. So she had total hip replacement. I don't know, well, when you say total, it's both sides. I'm not sure. But I know the side that was broken on, she had replaced, but she may have had total. And she is resting in the hospital and will be going to rehab sometime in the next week. So when I know more, I will let you all know. Cheryl gets on with Sherry and Cheryl, and she calls them the Share Squad because she's often on here, but she's not been able to be on this week. But Cheryl, if you go back and look at these, I love you. I'm praying for you. I've got others praying for you. Hey, Walt. It's nice to see you on here. We've been praying for you too. We hope you're doing well. Walt's had some heart issues himself, but I hear you're on the mend, so I'm glad you're on here. I'm just finishing up with prayer requests. I'd shared a little devotion from An Altar in the World, Geography of Faith by Barbara Brown Taylor tonight. So, I was thinking I had one more prayer. Oh, and then Susan Friend has asked for prayers for David because David was not feeling well on Sunday, and they haven't completely verified it, but they think that David could have had a TIA on Sunday. He is at home. He's doing better. He's going to the doctor in July, but we want to pray that he doesn't have any more episodes and that everything comes out clear when he goes to the doctor. And pray for Susan for strength for her as she takes care of David, and just that the days go better. He can go out. She keeps him busy because he has to keep active, and they went and picked blackberries, she said today, in Williamson. Sherry, she told me the name of the farm. I'm going to have to look it up because I want to come pick blackberries. So my grandma used to make blackberry pie. So anyway, keep David Friend and Susan Friend in your prayers, just that David will continue to recover and do well. So that's it for the prayer request tonight and this short devotion. Thank you so much for joining me. Tomorrow night will be Friday Fun Night. Our friends are going to join us, the Jeanettes, so we hope that you will join us for Friday Night Fun. It will be on at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. Worship will be in our fellowship hall at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and online on Facebook. So, and in our parking lot on the radio if you don't feel comfortable coming in. Communion will be at the end, and we will bring communion out to those who are in the parking lot. So we hope that you can join us then. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, for joining me later. I pray that you all are doing well, And if you have any prayer requests or praises, please let me know, and I'll be glad to share them. And now as we go tonight, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord look upon you with favor and give you peace. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Hey, everybody. Thank you, those who join me now. Thank you to those who will watch later. Hope to see you on Friday Night Fun. Have a great day tomorrow and good rest tonight. Good night.